Hey guys, welcome to the tournament match for Lego The Hobbit restricted to any percent. Today it's going to be Jack, who is seated as second place, and Nico, who is seated in seventh. Nico has shown a lot of improvement, so it will still probably be a pretty close match. So let's have all the runners show their settings to VSync on, and then they can go ahead and hover over a save file so we can get ready to get started. Okay, looks good. And yeah, so Jack, you can confirm that you want to overwrite the save file. Same with Nico. And when Jack is able to skip the cutscene because he has bad title screen, we'll be able to start the first match. Okay, yeah, Nico, you're good to go.
My dear Frodo, you asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about my adventures. It began long ago.
So Jack should be able to skip the cutscene in a second.
There was the city of Dale. Peaceful.
Okay, so if both of you guys are ready, then Paxo, you can start the timer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and skip.
Stronghold of Thrall.
So it looks like we're off. Nico being able to skip the cutscene a little earlier there, it looks like. So now we just have the first room. Not much here. This one is really movement and optimization based. It's all about getting the attack animations as optimally as possible. And you want to hit the first 2 buckets twice each, and you need to hit the top 3 or the top 2 statues 3 times. But you need to do it really optimally, and you can't miss any attack like hits if you want to be able to beat the room as quickly as possible. It's a kind of a difficult room to do really well, but looks like Nico took a little bit of a lead, but I'm not quite sure, as Jack did start a little later. Nico getting the double jump into the camera pan there, which is good, saves about a second. Neither player having really any issues with this room. Neither is going for the fence hop line, but that's understandable. Nico is going to opt for some 1P2C here, which is pretty difficult, but it is rewarding. 1P2C in this room saves quite a bit of time. Jack going to play it a little safer here and do the old route with the 1 player. And now we're on to gem skip with Nico. A little miss there, but it looks like he got it. Now let's see how Jack does. Going for a little bit of a riskier setup, but gets it there. Saving back a little bit of time. So now we're going to see a little bit of 1P2C in this room. This one you can lose a surprising amount of time in this room if you don't quite know what you're doing, but both of these players have quite a bit of practice, so we'll probably see pretty high quality play here. So we'll see. Nico looks like he's trying to get enough resources here, while player 2 hits all the gems. It's interesting character management. It's not what you usually see. Same thing from Jack. Looks like Jack was opting for the animation cancel there by hitting B after you hit the rock, you can gain movement a little bit more quickly afterwards, and it saves around a second in total. So it looks like he's gained back a little bit of time. Now we go on to the gems. And it looks like Nico has some really nice gems to one hit, opting to play it a little bit safer there. Jack going all in. Looks like he one hit a green one, which is really good. So now it's pretty much tied up. So barrier clip for Jack, it looks like. And Nico as well. We'll see how it goes. And it looks good, yeah. He got through, so saving about 20 seconds there. Looks like Nico did miss it there. But he'll be fine going for the backup here. So Jack in this room here. Looks like he's going to be yeah, just doing the 1v2c. And yeah, Jack's in the gold room, and Nico just entering hammer room. So looks like he's doing fine, especially for having this barrier clip. So now we're going to see the hovers from Jack, and it'll be interesting to see if he goes for 9 hover. I'm not sure if he goes for it, like a lot of the top runners do. But we'll see what he goes for. Looks like not opting for it, going for the safer 10 hovers, which is respectable in a race. So now Jack in the auto-scroller, not much he can do. Nico pretty close behind. Looks like not really any issues with the hovers. Looks like Jack is going to get out with around a 627 Greatest Kingdom. Pretty good for a race. Now Jack is into the hub, which is this is a split looking for proof that he's known for being really good at. It's really technical, and he's done a really good job of mastering that. So we'll see how Nico is able to do here as well. This split can go really wrong very quickly. There are a lot of very punishing tricks. It looks like Jack is getting bush launch first try. We'll see how many hovers he opts for. Looks like he's going for just 3 there, which is only 1 more than what's optimal, but 2 hover is extremely risky. Nico also making his way over to bush launch, so while Jack basically walks in a straight line, we'll see how Nico does here. Almost gets it first try, a little bit too low. Yeah, having a little bit of a struggle, but yeah, looks like he got it there. I was just gonna say, usually you'll get it just automatically after a while if it doesn't work. Kind of weird how that works. Opting for quite a few more hovers there than Jack did, just to play it safe. See how many hovers Jack goes for here. We'll see if he goes for something more traditional like 9, or if he goes for 8 or even 7. Looks like he opted for... Oh, no, he is going for 9. I believe that was 9. You can make that gap in 7 hovers. It's extremely risky, but it does pay off, saving about 5 to 6 seconds. Same with this gap right here. You can make it in 7 hovers, but not quite as risky as making the second gap in 7 hovers, but yeah, looks like he's just playing it safe there. Now we're going to see the trigger hit. He is going for the traditional setup here, hit the first try. Very nice. He may be on pace for sub 10 looking for Broof here. Hitting the first one and getting the swap off. Yeah, very clean. Nico on the second gap over here, doing really nicely. Yeah, we'll see how many he goes for. Yep, it's there. Now getting up that slope is a little tricky, but it looked like he managed to get it. And Jack with honestly just a really solid hub there. Probably pretty close to his gold.
The disturbance of the tombs of the Nine.
Yeah, sub 10. He's probably not too far off of his PB. Maybe 20 seconds, if I had to guess.
The abandoned fortress of
So now, Nico looks like going for more of a YOLO setup to hit the trigger. And he hits it eventually. Jack in Necromancer, looking like he's opting for one-player strats in this room. Not something you usually see. Also putting player 2 up top, giving him no early movement in this next section, but yeah. Nico having control bind issues, which is kind of typical for keyboard in this game, but you would kind of just have to deal with it. Nico does have 0 studs here, so that's a free and little time save. And it looks like Jack is going for fog skip, so we'll see how that goes for him. Nico with a pretty solid exit from looking for proof. And Jack on his way to heal the second bird. Yeah, so fog skip now here from Jack. He's dropping out. Usually a smart decision. And he makes the jump. We'll see if he gets the second one, and he falls inbounds. That really sucks. If Nico manages to get fog skip here, I'm not sure if he goes for it. We'll see. What he manages to go for here. I'm not sure if he goes for fog skip usually. That's really an unfortunate time loss for Jack there. It looked like he didn't back everything up. Not hitting the trampoline beforehand, but Jack also going for fog skip here from the look of it. Or not Jack, Nico, sorry. So yeah, we could see some comeback here. Jack about finished up with the room. It's the swap warp first try. And I think he does opt for the one-player route here. Now we have Niko going for Fog Skip. This will be a big opportunity for him if he manages to hit it. And he also comes in bounds. That's unfortunate. Both players are a little bit, look like they were both a little bit too far in bounds. They need to be a little bit more up before they go right, and then they'll hit it. Yeah, we have a one-player route from Jack here. Niko's struggling a little bit with the targeting. It is very difficult, especially when you're trying to 1v2C. Sometimes they just blank. Got Jack in the second cycle of the Azog fight. And Niko entering the boss room. Would have guessed to be around a 40-second lead. Maybe a little more. Having a couple issues with Flower Jump. Jack is almost finished up. Now Jack is onto the auto scroller and then into the boss fight, which is cycle based, so it's not possible to save much time there over any other player, as long as you don't miss any cycle. And he is opting for the swap strats, which save around half of a second because he doesn't have the other player dropped in. Yeah. Not much really is going on for this boss fight, but for each cycle you'll see 5 hands thrown at each character, and then and the blue one, or the 5th is a blue one that you are able to break and make a pillar out of to hit Sauron. And once you do that 3 times, the level ends. So you'll see Jack trying to build each one as quickly as possible and hit it as quickly as possible without blanking a bunch of hits is the goal. Looking like Jack is not going to opt for 0 studs. See what Niko goes for here. Jack just hitting the second blue hand for the second cycle, or I guess the second blue hand. And Niko just hitting the first now. Looking like we'll see sub 18 exits. So very, very respectable. Niko is taking a bunch of deaths here to get 0 studs, and since it doesn't lose any time, it saves around 2 seconds in the status screen at the end of a level. The 3 levels where you can pull it off are Looking for Proof, which is the second, and then this level, the Necromancer, which is the third, and On the Doorstep, which is the 4th. On the Doorstep, it's pretty hard to pull it off, so it'll be interesting if we see any runners go for it, but it does save time. Nico hitting the second cycle there while Jack is finishing up the third. And yeah, Jack's finished with that level. Now it's basically just intense trick after trick. So first we're going to see Icicle launch from him here, which is a 30-second time save, approximately. And it has to do with buddying up around this Icicle to get a launch. And this launch allows you to take a better line in the hub. Having a little bit of issues with it. Looks like his camera angle isn't quite right. And he's also looks like he's moving in the buddy up. But yeah, this might be a time save for Nico here to catch up. Looks like, yeah, Jack is still going for it. Looks like he's not going to opt for just taking the normal hub route. As Nico is exiting the Necromancer now. Only probably around a 30-second lead, and it looks like Jack does get it. Oh. No, he doesn't. Yeah, now just opting for the normal route. We'll see what Nico goes for here. Certainly a chance for him to catch up. Looks like Nico did get a longer save there, but still plenty of time. Oh, and it looks like Nico did get it. We'll see if he falls down here. We may see Nico in the lead. It'll be pretty close. Yeah, Nico in the lead here by about 5 seconds. Jack is known for having pretty good on the doorsteps. So, we'll see how that goes. We'll see what strats Nico goes for here. Jack, he is going for the YOLO setup. Yeah, Nico hitting the trick. He is going to take the lead here. Not opting for the forced camera skip, which I guess makes sense. Jack just having issues with the trick. This is exactly what Nico needed. We'll see how he gets the sideways buddy up first try, and we'll see how Spinach treats him. Which is just the name for a spin launch that we do, because nobody likes Spinach, and the spin launch is not very fun. Unless you do the setup, which it looks like Nico is not doing. Jack's still having issues with the launch, but it looks like he finally got it. He is going for the forced camera skip. Oh, buddied up, but hit the trigger. So Nico having about a 1-minute lead. Nico is actually almost on pace for sub 30 here. Not quite, but this could be a PB for him. His uploaded PB is a 32:15. Yeah. Jack just hitting the second room. Gets sideways buddy up first try. That's good. And we'll see how Spinach treats him. Looks like also not opting for the setup. Maybe he hasn't figured it out yet. Looks like he almost got it there. Nico with either a really long load or a crash. Crash is known to happen there very rarely. I think he crashed. We'll see how he's able to recover from this. That's very unfortunate for Nico, if that's what happened. Or maybe the black screen is just a stream, but I did not see what happened.
The last light of Durin's day had revealed. The company passed into the mountain through.
Yeah, it looks like Nico did see a crash, so he's going to be reopening the game and going back to the start of inside info. So losing that lead he had, but should end up all right. It'll still be a close match. He does have to re-enter no cut. I would have forgotten about that. Would have had to watch the long cutscene. Smart play from him there.
The tales and songs fall utterly short of your enormity, O Smaug.
Jack going for statue skip here. We'll see if he gets it. Misses it first try.
Do you think flattery will keep you alive?
No.
Nico having V-Sync off as the default here. Not sure if that disqualifies him, as he did spawn in on it. I guess we'll continue the race and see if Jack wins anyways.
Under hills and over hills, my path is led. And through the air, I am he who walks unseen. I am
Go on.
luck wearer, barrel rider, riddle maker.
Now that is interesting.
Nico finishing the second section there, while Jack is on the fourth. We'll see how Chandelier Skip treats Jack. Nice 10-15 second time save. If he executes it well, we'll see if he goes for the hover strat or not.
Oh, I don't think so. Barrel rider.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think our little game ends here.
And Jack about to enter the unskippable cutscene. And Nico just finished the third section out of 5. So I'd guess probably around a 45-second. 45-second lead.
My claws are spears. My wings are a hurricane.
So it is true. The Black Arrow found its mark.
What did you say?
I was just saying, your reputation precedes you, O Smaug the tyrannical. Truly, you have no equal on this earth. The Arkenstone. How did you find it?
The plan's not gonna work. These furnaces are stone cold.
We've no fire hot enough to set them ablaze.
Have we not?
Okay, so it looks like we are going to allow it, as he did fix it as quickly as possible and didn't really receive much of an advantage from it. So we're just going to continue. I'd assume that Jack has around a 1-minute lead over Nico, but With these launches, anything is possible. And with JL1, which is the last launch in the game, anything could happen.
Get those bellows working. Go!
So yeah, Jack about to hit the first of 3 launches in this level. Looks like he did get the buddy up, but missed the launch. Looks like he was holding inputs there. And it looks like he got it there. Having an interesting camera angle, I guess, but that's because of one player. And this second launch here, this one is usually quite easy, but sometimes if you're not focused, you can lose a decent amount of time here. Having some issues getting it. Yeah, getting the vertical buddy out. And looks like he got it there. We'll see how Nico is able to respond here. Maybe able to save a little bit of time back, but yeah, it all comes down to JL1 and how each player is able to pull off that trick. Nico having a little bit of issues with the buddy up, but it looks like he gets it eventually. We'll see how the second one treats him. Jack about to enter the section where you throw flash bombs at Smog. Let's see how the cycles are for Jack. Looks like Nico almost gets it first try. And Jack on JL1 here. We'll see how he's able to do on the launch named after him. Nico still having a couple issues with that launch. Jack getting a launch, but bonking his head. It's unfortunate. We'll see if he's able to get it again. Sometimes you can have issues with it. Hopefully it doesn't stall him for more than a minute or two. Otherwise it would allow Nico to catch up, but it looks like he got it there. And the first match after an unfortunate crash from Nico will be Jack's. So GG to him. And I'm not sure if Nico is on PB pace here. I'd assume not, but he may opt to finish out the run if he doesn't realize. Definitely a close first match. Very fun to watch. On the doorstep definitely kept things interesting. But we saw a pretty solid time from Jack there. I'd assume it was probably around a 29, maybe a 30. And looks like Nico's going to try to finish it out. Nico going for an interesting setup here, but he does get it. Again, not sure on the time for that, but GG's to Nico for finishing it out. Yeah, that's definitely a fun match to watch. So now we are going to move on to the second one. So if both players want to return to the main title screen, and yeah. So it looks like Jack has good title screen. We'll see what Nico has here in a sec. He is ready. I don't know if he is. Jack is showing his settings, so it looks like he's all good. Nico on bad title screen. Okay. So, Nico, if you want to go ahead, if you are ready, you can start your game. And yeah, if you're ready, you can start your game, and then we can have Jack start as well. And once Nico is able to skip, we will be able to start the second match.
My dear
So
Frodo,
now that Nico is able to
easily
start,
I had told you everything there
ready to
was
start the
know
timer
about my
in count of 5,
adventures.
Paxo. So
It began
if the runners are ready, then 5,
in a land far
4,
away to the east.
3,
There was
2,
the city of
1,
Vale,
and start.
peaceful and prosperous. For this city lay before the doors of the greatest kingdom in Middle-earth.
My liege, our king asks you to go and oversee today's mining operation.
Built deep within the mountain itself, the beauty of this fortress city.
Nico with a pretty clean room 1 so far, actually. Same thing from Jack. We'll see how Nico does here. Coming off of that loss, knowing that he was able to stay really close to a top seed is probably pretty energizing. So we'll see how he's able to do. Jack is probably the favorite to win here, but you never know. We could see anything happen. Nico taking a slight lead from slightly cleaner gameplay in the second room. Unfortunately, this room probably won't see any other optimizations for the rest of this game, as it is possible to skip, but only with the miniature characters extra.
In precious gems, huge.
There's no known way to skip it, especially with restricted FPS, so that room will probably stay the way that it is for a long time. Nico on a jump skip here. Looked a little close, but he did get it. Definitely taking his time though. Jack. Jack getting it as well. That's good. Nico with a really solid entrance to the mining room. Nico. Yeah, Nico entering the flute little camera pan. Same thing with Jack. See how barrier clip treats Nico here. It's a big opportunity for either player to pull ahead. If one person misses and the other doesn't, it's 20 seconds or so. Maybe, probably even closer to 25. Both players in the build. Pretty clean first and second phases from both people. Looks like Jack took a little bit of a lead back there. And we'll see how the gems treat them. Jack with not the luckiest gem. Nico with slightly better, or slightly easier to one-hit gems, but not hitting either of them.
Ever they delve deeper down into the
Nico
dark.
one-hitting the last gem, so it looks like he'll be slightly behind Jack going into barrier clip here.
Smaug had come.
Barrier clip from Jack. As usual, looked very clean there. Very nice execution. Looked like Nico did get stuck there, unfortunately. Another miss from Nico. It's not what you want to see, but it happens. So Nico will be backing it up with the hover here. Hitting a trigger that allows you to progress the story far enough to buddy up, and then we'll probably do 6 hovers here. Jack building the hammer and hitting it, and progressing into gold room. Nico is about 25 seconds behind now, I would guess. Maybe 20. Both players doing very well so far. Jack is opting for the horizontal buddy up for these hovers, which is an interesting choice. Most people would keep on trying until they get the vertical one, as it's slightly smaller, and because he had the horizontal one there, Jack actually did fall, which is unfortunate. Now he has the vertical, so we'll see what he goes for here. Probably still opting for 10 hovers. Yeah, looks like he's taking an interesting line. It's actually really lucky that he didn't fall again there. It looked like he would. Definitely an opportunity for Nico to catch up here. More hovers from Nico. Nico does get the vertical button the first try, which is good. Looks like Jack is on pace for around 640 Greatest Kingdom, if I had to guess. Nico slightly behind that, right around a 7 flat. So yeah, now back into the hub for Jack. We'll see how all the tricks go. As I said earlier, it is a very punishing split. If you miss anything, it can lose you quite a bit of time, especially on the hovers. You play it a little too risky, you can potentially lose like 20 or 30 seconds just because the hovers take so long, and especially you usually miss them towards the end of the hover. Almost the first try from Jack there. Not quite getting it. Jack does get a third try there. Very good for him. Three hovers there again. Nico not hitting it first try either. Yeah, Nico having a little bit of an issue with this launch, but he'll get it eventually. Jack just walking over to the trigger. And he's doing it very optimally by jumping because it looks like, I'm guessing he's buffering the jumps, but the first frame jumps that he's doing save quite a bit of time over the span of the whole hub because the backwards walls constantly want to push you back, the uphill sort of thing. And so by buffering jump, you can actually save a lot of boost or pushback or boosts or whatever. Nico does finally get over, is able to pull off the hover. Jack heading to the little corner where you are able to hover. And it looks like Jack is going for the 7 hover setup here. If I had to guess, he might go for 8 just to play it safe. Yep, looks like 8. I think that was 8. But very clean from him there. He got a very big boost off of the little corner there. By dropping inputs on that corner, you are able to hover later than you usually would and giving you a small boost in the distance that you're able to use. Nico almost to the end here. It's unfortunate that you don't have horses to speed the section up, but there's not really much you can do.
Gandalf and Radagast stood before the sheer...
Jack does hit the trigger. And he gets the swap off as well, saving a couple seconds. Nico is almost across the second gap. Looks like he made it across. And Jack, a little bit behind the pace that he was earlier in the first round, but still very solid pace, looking like a barely above a sub 10 exit. Sub 10 looking for proof exit is usually pretty standard for most top runners. It's what you want to see if you are going for usually a sub 30 or sub 29 minute time. Nico does hit the trigger. See the looking for proof jump from him here. Hopefully Fog Skip treats both runners a little better than it did last round. The nerves are pretty high now, especially for Nico, it being the second game. So we'll see how the pretty punishing one try goes. Most runners would say it's not a very difficult trick, but it's not hard to mess up just one part and then miss the entire thing. Nico coming out of the status screen there, making it into the hub and heading over towards the trigger for the Necromancer. Jack healing the second bird here. And yeah, here comes Fog Skip from Jack. We'll see how it goes. Looks like he has a good position. Gets the jump, and oh, very lucky boost for him right there. Manages to boost behind. It looked like he was going to fall out of bounds, but managed to boost behind and then eventually hit the trigger. He is opting for the one-player setup here, slightly slower, but it is quite a bit easier. We'll see how this goes for Nico. We have the first bird field for Nico here. Jack in the first phase of the Azog fight. Looks like Azog has been pushed into a pretty good position here. Yeah, here comes Fog Skip for Nico. It'll be big if he's able to get this. Oh, and he gets over. Don't. Oh, it looked like he was going to die there. I was so scared. I thought he overjumped that one. But he is able to hit it, keeping Jack from gaining too much of a lead on him. I'm guessing Jack will probably have a better on the doorstep this time, so it'll be interesting. It'll be down to Nico to play really well if he wants to have a chance at taking this match. Jack in the first phase here. Jack does have studs again, so it looks like he will not be going for 0 studs unless he does drop it in player 2. Nico with a pretty decent boss fight so far from what I've seen. I believe both players are on controller keyboard, so it's pretty even in that respect. It does make Greatest Kingdom slightly harder. Same thing for Inside Information, but it is a lot easier to 1P2C and not get yourself messed up. That's what most people would agree on. And it looks like, yeah, Nico opting for the 1P2C here. He will probably also go for 0 studs, just like he did last match. Jack is building the pillar for his second cycle here. Gets a pretty good hit off. Nico just finishing the first here. And yeah, it's pretty uneventful boss fight so far. Hopefully we don't see any missed cycles, but you never know. Looks like Jack is about 1 cycle ahead. Yes, probably a 20 to 30 second lead. No, probably a little bit more. Yeah, Jack just finishing up the final phase here. while Nico is about halfway through his second one. Having a little bit of having some issues with building it, but it does get it. Gets the targeting pretty quickly too. Yeah, Jack unfortunately getting that, the stud status screen there, just because he had 210 studs on player 2, from what it looked like. Hopefully Icicle Launch treats him a little better this time. It did. Looks like first try to me. Yep. And now he's heading over to the trigger.
The company had arrived at the main gates of the
Now, fast on the doorstep here for Jack. Did not go very well for him in the first round, but he still managed to pull off a win. And looks like a miss for the first try. Not what you want to see, but he does have a pretty big lead over Nico, a lot more than I thought. Nico does pull off the 0 studs. Yeah. Oh. Jack's still having issues, but still very solid lead over Nico so far. And he does get it. See if he opts for forced camera skip again. We'll see how Icicle Launch goes for Nico. Very close, but not quite getting it. Nico does get it, but Jack is almost to the second section of this level, so Nico did get fast OTD first try, so this could stay close if he manages to get it. Jack getting a second or third try buddy up on the FCS. Likely not saving time with it, but still executing it pretty well. And now we have spinach, and it looks like he gets it. Nico, I think that's a miss. No, he did get it. That's impressive. Yeah, Nico is 2 for 2 on the first try fast OTDs. No death either. Pretty clean so far. He has gained a little bit of time back on Jack.
The last light of Durin's
Still is anyone's game. Nico with a buddy out there. We'll see how the spinach goes.
Through the secret door.
And he does get it relatively quickly.
I did not come to steal from you. Oh, smell the unaccessibly wealthy. I merely wanted to gaze upon your magnificence, to see if you really were as great as the old tales say. I did not believe them.
Jack about 45 seconds ahead now, I guess. Looks like Nico did gain back some time. Hopefully no crash entering this level here. Looks like it's good. He did get the long save, which happens sometimes, unfortunately.
No, indeed. You seem familiar, but I don't remember smelling your kind
come from under the hill.
Yeah, Nico rolling in the first section. Jack finishing up the third.
I am
Lovely titles.
Riddle Maker.
Still very close.
Barrel Rider.
Now that is interesting.
See what chandelier skipjack goes for here. I think we'll go for the spinning one.
And what about
That'd save about 4 or 5 seconds over the
where are they hiding?
one where you kill the other player.
Oh, I don't think
Yep, Jack is going for the spinning one. Not that difficult if you know what you're doing. Very clean section from Jack.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think our little game ends here.
Nico is chugging along as well. Yep. Nico is also opting to do this whole first area one player. It's an interesting choice. Most people do it 2 player and just leave the other player behind. But it's interesting.
Thief. How did you choose to die?
Yeah, Jack in the unskippable cutscene now. Nico
Our swords.
a little behind.
My claws are spears. My wings.
Yeah,
So it is true. The Black Arrow found its mark.
Nico does look like he's going for the kill setup here.
Your reputation precedes you, O Smaug the tyrannical. Truly. You
Nope,
have no
Nico
equal
going for the spin.
on this earth.
No, it looked like he was just trying it once for fun. Does get the kill setup first try. Very solid.
The Arkenstone.
How did you find it? The plan's not gonna work. These furnaces are stone cold.
We've no fire hot enough to set them ablaze.
Nico about to enter the unskippable cutscene. Jack is almost out. See how these launches go for him.
But your dotage. Slug. Take cover. Go! Get those bellows working. Go!
So Jack with a pretty quick launch there. Nico almost through this cutscene. Okay. Yeah, looks like Jack got it there. Second try, he did not. He missed the bar. Unfortunate there for sure. And Nico coming out of the cutscene here. We'll see how he's able to do. With perfect play here, Nico could take this map still. It's not over.
Walid, can you still mix a flash flame?
Jack is entering the flash bomb section. Nico is having a little bit of difficulty with this launch, but it looks like he does get it. Yes, he does. This is PB pace for Nico. I guess it's even sub 30 pace if the timer is correct. So, could definitely be an opportunity for that. did bonk there. Pretty unusual for the setup where you don't break anything. Definitely unfortunate. Yeah, Nico having a little bit of an issue. This launch, getting the vertical buddy up, his values aren't quite right here. Needs to jump once with one character. Jack in the final room, on pace for what will probably be a tournament PB. I would assume. I don't think his last run was as good as this one. Nico's still having issues with bonking. Jack not getting an instant JL1 here, though. Jack gets it, but doesn't quite get all the way to the top. Nico finally gets the launch. Although that probably does kill sub third for him. Jack does get JL1, though. So it looks like Jack will take the win for this match. GG's to Jack there, taking a 2-0 win over Nico. I'm assuming we will let Nico finish it out here because this is PB pace. $27.09 from Jack. Very good. Okay, Jack, if you are able, oh, it looks like he's not able to have an interview. So, oh, is he? I can't tell. Nico, a little bit of an issue. Nope, it looks like he has the character management, right? Yep. Definitely PB pace. Still. And he gets it. That definitely is a PB for Nico there. Oh, okay. So Jack does not have a working mic, but he is able to interview. So the first thing I would ask is, were you nervous? Like, did you think you would lose that first one after losing probably a minute and a half on fog skip, or losing probably a minute on fog skip, and then another little bit on the doorstep? Because you were behind there, and how did it feel to come back from behind? So Jack says that he said, I knew I had enough time saved and inside information, but I was nervous from room one and home. Yeah. And then I guess just any comments on, or in Greatest Kingdom in Middle Earth, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah. And then I guess any comments on how the run goes so far, any splits you were like really proud of, or any anything like that? He's really proud of the looking for proof gold in race 1. Oh, so he golded that split. And then he says, I hope to beat Lasers 2730 in the next round. Okay, well, yeah, that sounds good. So I think we're ready to interview Nico now as well.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, how's it going?
I was pretty nervous the whole time, actually.
Yeah. Well, you did really well. It was just the most unlucky crash there.
Yeah.
That crash is about 1 in 100 for me, at least. I've only ever had it happen once, and I finished tons and tons of runs of this category. So it's definitely really unfortunate, especially when you were about, I'd say, probably a minute ahead. But you managed to come
Yeah.
back. And then that was a PB on the second race, right?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a PB? Is your PB on the board the same as your actual PB?
Yeah, but I beat it in this run, but my actual PB was from yesterday. It was a 30-42.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't see that, I don't think. Or
Yeah,
maybe you haven't submitted it yet, and that's why.
yeah, so now I got like a 30-50. So
Yeah.
eight
Well, that's
seconds.
still really good. And so I guess you also came in against a top seed. So yeah, you performed really well against a top seed. He did get sub 30s and everything. So yeah, you performed really well. Is there anything that you're like super proud of in the
I
race? Any splits or
so I was proud of my OTD in both runs. I
yeah,
could say
both of those were really good.
that I got pretty lucky with the launch, but I practiced a lot of the fast OTD launch. So yeah.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you did really well. Even the most top runners won't get both of those first try. Jack definitely had a little bit of an issue with that, but he was able to go for the fourth camera skip both times, which saved him back a tiny bit of time. And yeah, overall played slightly cleaner, but you did very well, and it was fun to see. It was definitely a pretty close matchup. It was kind of back and forth throughout all the splits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so I think that's pretty much it. We don't really have any upcoming matches scheduled or anything. I know Senor and I are most likely going to play on Saturday, but nothing set in stone yet. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching this match. It was definitely a fun one. And yeah, see you guys all later.